on what's going on in society?
Superhero media in general has always reflected the society in which humans have lived. There was a big boom in comics in the 30s and 40s due to all the technologies that were being created at the time, and people were curious about all that brand new stuff. There was also a boom in the 60s due to the Cold War, and people wanted to escape that dark and scary reality that they were stuck in. The MCU universe reflects our reality by being introspective. All the character movies have, of course, villains to fight, but also have flaws that they must get over. They also reflect big, important issues. For example, in the first Iron Man and the second Iron Man, they talk about Afghanistan and the Middle East problem.
Well, some stuff that happened in previous movies affect what's going on in the next movie or character development. For example, in the third Iron Man movies, Tony Stark develops PTSD and anxiety because of what happened in the Battle of New York. Or in Civil War, what happened between the character in Civil War is a bit of the reason what the thing going on in Infinity War happened, because they're not together anymore. They fought and the team was
disbanded?
Yeah, exactly. So, what's unique about the making of these movies?
Most of these movies are directed by independent directors who aren't big Hollywood, big names. Hence, these directors give a visual and storytelling flair to their movies. For example, the Russo brothers are taking part of the Avengers movies, who are a lot more serious and grounded in reality than, say, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, whose director likes doing teen movies. So there's a lot more flashy space kind of theme.
So what's unique about the filming of these movies?
Most of these movies are directed by very independent directors, which gives these movies visual and storytelling flair about them. For example, Thor is directed by Takata Wati, who is usually somebody who does really offbeat comedies, and he does a story which has a lot of God and have a lot of seriousness and a fable element to it. Or once again, the Russo brothers, who are mostly known for doing stuff like Arrested Development or Community, which are shows very zany. Now deal with the Avengers, who is a fairly serious and realistic movie.
The Avengers? Realistic? Really? Seriously?
Well, at least what I mean is that they have to deal with, the characters have to deal realistically to the solution. Not like most movies where you have these big epic battles and most of the main characters seem to walk out of these situations completely fine. When here, the main characters react how most people would during these big events.
Oh, you mean the aftermath, for example?
Yeah.
Okay. Or in Thor, how Loki react to the fact that he was adopted from Frost Giant when he was told all his life that they were monsters and that he was from the same family as Thor. He didn't react well at all to that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this is a bit of what led to the adventures and the Battle of New York.
They mature, or they see that their view of the world was incorrect. Some of them even learn that they're to not rely themselves on what their view of the world is, like Captain America.
Well, I mean, in Civil War, all he did was doing all of what happened to his best friend, even going as far as almost killing all of his teammates and leaving him alone in the cold. Well, in some way, even if they were actually popular after, it made them even more popular. Or in other case, it made them well known. For example, Tommy Hiddleston wasn't really known before his role of Loki. He became more known after that role because he started having a lot of different movies in many years after the first Thor movies. Or for Robert Downey Jr., made his career ever bust again after what happened during the early 2000s when he had to go in jail and had rehab for addiction problems and alcohol problems, etc., etc., etc. Yeah. Even now, they will be well known for a long, long time. And we will know who they are in future movies.
Yeah, because their characters often last multiple movies, so have a big momentum.
Yep.